Hello, everyone, and welcome to our live event sponsored by FiaFia Play Area and Cafe. My name is Dunja, and I will be your host today. Today, we will be talking about the future of kids' play areas in a post-pandemic world. FiaFia was founded by Alia Al Nabooda, and she is here with us today. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, thank you so much for being here with us.
Pleasure.
Could you tell us a bit about FiaFia? How did it start, and what's the story behind it?
Okay, so I have 4 kids, and I've always been very interested in kids in general, toys, games, play. Even all my travel was based around child-friendly places. And I visited a lot of play areas in the past with my kids. My eldest is 17 now, so I've been doing it for 17 years. Mm-hmm. And I never found that perfect place that appealed to me as a mom. Sometimes the play areas would be great for the kids, but not comfortable for the parents. Sometimes it was a very nice, clean play area, but the staff were not interactive. So over my years, I've taken note of all of these small things that I didn't like about certain play areas. And I decided to make the perfect play area that I would love to go to.
Yeah.
So FiaFia is basically a play area. We have a very interactive staff. So the kids are not just playing by themselves. The staff will play with them, talk to them, interact with them, help them to socialize. And the parents can relax. Like, it's a nice, comfy coffee shop that you could sit and have a cup of tea or finish up some work or have a chat with friends.
Mm-hmm. That's incredible. That's really nice. I love the idea. And following up to that, I want to ask you, what do you feel is the impact of children's play and socialization areas on their mental health? How does that impact them?
So I am a big supporter of play. Because I believe children can learn so much through play. I know maybe some people would say playing is, well, they're just playing, but they're not just playing. They're learning coordination skills. They're learning socialization skills. They're learning leadership skills, teamwork, fine motor skills, gross motor skills. I mean, there's so many things that they're learning. And it's a foundation for the rest of their life. If they are able to socialize in a playground, that will benefit them in the workplace in the future. So I am a big supporter of play. And I believe there's so many benefits of it. So again, that's why I went into the field of entertainment or play for children.
Yeah, socialization is really important, and it's really nice that you are talking about it and basically encouraging parents and kids to interact more, because like you said, it's going to be important in the future as well. Now I have to ask you, speaking of mental health, how do you feel that this pandemic that we're in has affected children's mental health?
So I think that the pandemic has affected not just children, but everyone. Us as adults, we've been very affected by it mentally, going into quarantine, lockdowns, being worried about, the transmission of the disease and things like that. So we've been worried about it. It's highly affected adults, and then children can't, they're not very good at vocalizing or expressing their feelings or getting the point across. So I think it's affected children more than it has us. Not going to school, not being able to see their friends. Their parents are stressed out because of the COVID situation, quarantine, and things like that. So for me personally, I got to a point where I felt my kids' mental health. I always believed that my kids' mental health is more important than anything else, even education. I kept them off school for a period of time until I felt that they were mentally capable of going back to school, because it was too much stress for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we have been living with this pandemic for a long time, and we don't know when it's going to end. Hopefully it's getting better with the vaccination and everything. And as you said, I think it's extremely important to keep kids engaged even in that time, because it is a huge change for them as well. So that being said, how do you feel playgrounds and play areas in Dubai have adapted to this pandemic? There has been some changes, I'm sure. So how did it adapt to the pandemic?
So the government regulations have been very strict in the beginning of the pandemic. So play areas were closed for around about 4 to 5 months. I think in that time, people might have realized how important play areas are, or playgrounds where kids can get together and socialize and make friends. The rules have, so you had only a 50% maximum capacity. So there were smaller groups. Cleaning was a big priority, which was not a priority for FiaFia because we were already doing that. Because I believe in hygiene, and I mean, I have a very high standard of cleanliness in my play area. But I think it was good that they implemented it, and I think that should continue even post-COVID. I mean, you want to go into a clean place, you want your kids to be in a clean, safe environment.
Of course, yeah, that is extremely important. Now I asked you about playgrounds in general. So the follow-up question would be, how has FiaFia adapted since COVID-19? I know that you said that it's always hygienic and that you always take care of it. Were there any other adaptations to the playground area since COVID started?
So we had to have social distancing. So, playing games with social distancing was a bit of a struggle for us, but we've adapted the games and the activities that we do to accommodate for social distancing. So that was one thing that we did. There wasn't a lot more that we did, except that we had smaller groups rather than huge groups.
Yeah,
which I think was nice because the employees can interact more with smaller groups rather than bigger groups.
Yeah, that can be extremely beneficial as well. Now, are there some, and what are some practices that FiaFia picked up during the pandemic that they plan to continue in the long term? Is there something like that?
Well, the sanitization, I think, is amazing, and I think that should continue. I will implement it. I don't know if you've realized, but my kids have not caught a cold. Because they've been washing their hands, because they've been sanitizing, and because of the places being sanitized all the time. So I don't know, this year my kids haven't caught a cold, which is very unusual. All my kids are back in school. They're actually in physical school, so they didn't even catch a cold in school. So I think that's also a good point, like they're not getting as sick as much because of the hygiene. So that's, again, the hygiene is something I'll definitely implement. Other than that, I think we're creative. We adapt to whatever situation comes our way.
Yeah, no, that's definitely extremely important. I know that in the beginning when all this started, everybody was talking about hygiene, wash your hands, and kind of as it went on, some people maybe forgot about it. But like you said, it's extremely important to keep on being hygienic and to keep on washing your hands, and especially talking to your kids about that. So yeah, that's definitely incredible. I have another question for you, and this is basically about what do you feel will be the future for play areas and playgrounds in Dubai?
So I think that because of the pandemic, we've realized how important mental health is and how our children are growing up, and they cannot be isolated. So I think parents, or in general, will want to take their kids out to socialize more, make sure that they have friends. And I think play areas are the perfect place to do that. So I think play areas will become more of a, they're going to have more traffic. I do think that we're going into the AI field. So like I've seen a lot of play areas that are implementing AI, artificial intelligence, and virtual reality games. But for FiaFia, we want to stay. We might implement some of these things, but we prefer to have the traditional play, because I don't know, that for me is where children interact and socialize, and that's one of my main goals, is for kids to be happy and to play and to socialize.
Yeah. So basically, the old-fashioned way is what you do at FiaFia.
Yes.
Okay, that's honestly amazing. I personally believe that that's something that should be pursued even more, because of course now with the new technology and everything, a lot of kids have access to everything. But I think it's really important to kind of remind them of the traditional values and of just a play in the park or something like that. So I also think that's extremely important. Now, what are some of the next steps we can expect from FiaFia? Is there something new, something planned for the future?
So we have a few tricks up our sleeve. We are looking into something that will be very new to Dubai, but we're not 100% sure that it's going to be done yet. We're working on it. So watch this space, let's say. For FiaFia, I want to, let's say, move vertically into other fields, which would be, for the younger children, maybe FiaFia daycare, move into FiaFia teens. So we cater from 0 to 12, but I want to also tap into the teen industry, because I think there's not a lot for teens. I want to, a community place where teens can come and socialize. It's not for to come and play a game and leave. I want it to be a place where, the community hub, where they can come and socialize, and they have interactive adults who could be, we could consider them as counselors maybe. I think teens, we don't have a lot for teens. So I want to focus, my next steps would be, or FiaFia's next steps might be focusing more on the teen industry.
That's incredible. So there are a lot of new plans to be slowly start to develop. Okay, well now we have some time for a Q&A session with parents. So I want to encourage every one of you. I see that there are already some questions. If you have any questions, please ask, and I'm going to read it to Alia. So I see that we have a question, and it's from Tara. She asks, does FiaFia charge by hour or per visit?
So we charge by hour, but we also have a full day pass. So if you plan to stay the whole day, we will charge you a cheaper price, not per hour. And we do have memberships. Now, our memberships are sort of limited because they were very popular. And we have full capacity. So we try to limit our memberships, but we do have memberships for 1 month or 3 months where you get full access to the play area at any time, providing that there are no events and providing that that we're not at full capacity.
Okay, great. There, you heard it. Another question we have is from Samantha, and she says, kids are so hyperactive. Would like to know how you ensure social distancing in those moments.
So on the play areas, in the play structure, we do have employees that are in the play structure for the slides, to make sure that they're not going to hurt themselves on the slides, directing them and supporting them. No running. And they try to maintain the social distancing. When we're playing activities, we do have stickers on the floor, so the children know that they have to stand here, which is a 2-meter distance away from the next child. So when they're playing or dancing, there are rules implemented. So our employees make sure that there's enough different distance between the two children.
Okay. And we have another question from Samantha, and that is that, are there any more branches opening in the future?
So we currently have 2 branches. One is in Jumeirah Al Firdaus, which is a Safa area, and we have 1 branch in Gate Avenue. We are looking into other areas And we're even looking internationally. So FiaFia might be opening in a different country, not just in the UAE.
Okay, that's incredible. We have another question. I'm going to read it to you. I love that you are a woman entrepreneur. What are some of the biggest challenges you faced as a female business owner?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I would say balancing between family life and work life. I would say as a woman, that is one of my biggest challenges, making sure I'm making enough time for my kids and for work. For me, because of the industry that I'm in, I bring my kids to work with me. So if I need to spend time with one child, you know, they come and then they're learning about the business and they give me ideas. So I'm managing that area pretty well.
Incredible. We have another question. Where are you located? But you said that you have 2 branches for now. So that question has been answered, I think. And another question is it a play area only or nursery too?
At the moment, it's only a play area. We do offer a drop-off service where you can drop off your kid at a higher price, of course, because we give them individual attention and look after them. It's not a nursery because we're not teaching any curriculum, but we do have activities like painting and slime making, dancing, games. So the child is entertained and learning. Again, as I said, I do believe that play teaches children a lot of things.
Yeah. Okay. I think we have another one right now. Yeah, we have another question, and it says, "Is there an age limit for your play areas?"
No, we accept all children from 0 to 12. Just because older than 12-year-olds might not find it very interesting. The 0 to 12 months is free in both branches. So obviously little babies, newborn babies are welcome, but they're not going to be playing much, are they?
Yeah. Okay. If you have any more questions, please send. Okay, we have one here. This question says, can parents leave their kids there at the play area?
Again, we do have a drop-off service. So if your child is very young and you want to leave them, you can leave them with a drop-off service. So the prices are a bit different because we will be looking after your child individually rather than the parent being there and the child is playing in the play area.
Let's wait for a couple of more minutes. Here we go. Do you have any tips for women looking to break into business?
Manage your time. So I don't believe anything is impossible. So I don't consider myself a special person or a particularly determined person, but all through my life. So I got married when I was in university. And I had my first child while I was doing my bachelor's degree, and I graduated in the same batch as my friends that I entered university with. So I did my 4-year batch. So it is harder, but it's possible as long as you manage your time properly. It's the same with being a parent and entering. If you have an idea and you believe in it, go for it. Nothing's impossible. And don't listen to people who tell you who give you the reasons why you shouldn't. Listen to the people who will support you to go ahead and do it.
There you go. That's an incredible advice. Another question is, do you follow any safety standards?
So the Dubai municipality have the Emirates International Accreditation Center. So they certify all our play areas. And they give us our guidelines that we're supposed to follow. We do have some, as FiaFia, we have implemented some European safety standards as well. So the play areas, yes, they are pretty safe. But like in any playground, your child might bump their head on something, or they might trip up and fall. Those things are inevitable. But as from safety, we have tried to, push the standard. And I think Dubai in general has a very good safety standards.
Yeah, that's incredible. All right. The next question is, do you have special rates for siblings?
At the moment, we don't, but we do have special rates for memberships. So if one child has a membership and you want to buy a membership for the sibling, we will give a discount on that.
We're waiting for some more questions, if you guys have it. Okay, you don't have a question, but I'm really sorry if I can't pronounce the name properly. But Jolanta wants to say that you're very cool and that she loves your humility and level-headedness.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet.
There is another question. Do you have any offers for the summer?
For the summer, we did have the summer camp, where you could drop off your child for, I think it was from 9 to 12. And we would do activities with them, and that's still running. And we do have at the end of this month back to school event where we'll do special activities for that. All the information can be found on our Instagram pages. Honestly, we're mostly active on Instagram.
Okay, yes, I was just about to ask you, where can people see more information? So mostly on your Instagram account.
Yes. If
you have any more questions, guys, please write them down. And then if not, we can, there is definitely another question. Do you have any internships maybe for teens? Because the question by Georgie is, I have a restless teen looking for a job and loves working with kids. So regarding to that, do you have any?
I'm open. I love supporting local businesses. I'm very approachable. I'm definitely open to having internships. And my kids have worked in the play area. So yes, we're very open to internships, and we can give a certificate at the end of the term.
There you go. Then for more information, you can follow their Instagram account and talk to Alia.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so again, Georgie asks, where can she apply? So is it via Instagram?
So we check our info email on a daily basis. So if she sends, it's info@FiaFia.ae. If she sends us a request through that, my employees do check them, and then at the end of the day, I review them. So I will get to see them.
Okay, let me just check with you because I want to write it for Georgie. So it's info@FiaFia.ae.
That's correct.
Okay. There you go. We have another question, and that is, what does FiaFia mean, the name? How did you come up with it?
So FiaFia is a Tongan Samoan word that means celebration, family, togetherness, happiness. So when I heard the word and I found out what it meant, I felt that it was very fitting for the concept that I wanted to do, because I do want to promote family, happiness, celebration, being together with friends, with family. So that's how we came up with the word FiaFia for our play area.
Wonderful. We had quite a lot of questions, which is amazing. And we have another one. Do parents or kids need to be vaccinated?
No, at the moment we don't have any. We have not had any rules from the. Again, we follow Dubai municipality guidelines, so they have not informed us that we have to have any vaccinations. Our employees, I would say 95% of our employees are vaccinated, but the children and the parents don't have to be vaccinated.
We have another question. How do you deal with any COVID cases you had with kids in your play area?
Fortunately, we haven't had any COVID cases. We did have one instance where a parent called and said that they tested positive a day after they'd been in our play area. Mm-hmm. All our employees that interacted, so we changed the shift. And all our employees that did interact took their COVID test. and everyone was fine. So we went back to normal.
Okay, Alia, I'm sorry. Can you please repeat that? Because the person who asked the question had to leave and then they came back. So if it's not a problem, if you can repeat maybe for her.
Okay. So we did have one instance where a parent called and said that they had tested positive after leaving the play area. We changed the shift, so the people that interacted on that day with that family were kept at home, and they were made to test for. They did their PCR tests, and then they came back to work. So we're very. I have children. I'm not. If we had any COVID cases or anything, we would definitely take all precautions to not spread it. I would even close the shop if I had to. So we're very vigilant. Again, I'm not talking as a businesswoman, I'm talking as a mom, and my kids go to that play area. So I'm very careful about how we deal with these things.
Okay, great, thank you. We have another question. FiaFia mentions how play gives kids a chance to practice what they are learning. And the question is, how would that work?
Can you repeat the question?
Of course. So FiaFia mentions how play gives kids a chance to practice what they are learning.
Yes.
How would this work? That's
so again, I'm a big believer of play. So if they're learning communication skills, and they can practice that because they have to talk to their peers, they have to talk to their elders. They have to go and ask for things. So that's communication. Again, teamwork. So sometimes they have games where they have to play in a team. I've seen children go up in the play area and they play tag, but they have to make themselves into teams. Who's going to be the first one? So they're learning to negotiate. They're learning to communicate with others. Climbing in the play area, that's coordination skills, gross motor skills. I mean, there's so many things that they're learning while they're playing, and they're implementing what they have learned. So if they've learned things at school, they're implementing it. So I've seen little toddlers who know their colors, and when they're in the play area, they'll say yellow, white. So they're always, practicing what they've learned, and they're learning more.
Yeah, that's incredible. There you go. That's an example for sure. Another question is, what are the challenges you faced opening your business?
Oh, opening any business, there are so many challenges. You have a plan in your head and it doesn't go that way at all. So challenges would be finding the right employees, finding the right people to fit out the play area. Even designing the play structure is a challenge. You want to have everything in it, but you don't have the space to have everything in it. Other challenges would be, getting your certification. As I said, Dubai municipality are very strict, which is a good thing. Everybody can feel safe when they send their children to any play area that's been certified by Dubai municipality or EAC, which is Emirates International Accreditation Center, because they are very strict with their rules. Other challenges would be like, for me, it's keeping children interactive. So if they come to the play area on a daily basis, I try to find new activities. So they're not just doing the same things over and over again. So those are the day-to-day challenges. But yeah, opening a business, getting your licensing, getting approvals, and then change, like your mind changes or the plan changes. So let's say you plan to open in January, you open in March. So there are a lot of hiccups and obstacles on the way, but you just have to push through them.
Yeah. Okay, that's a great advice. The next question we have is, what are your busiest days? I would love to stop by when it's not so crazy. My little is an anxious one. We don't have I can't say, especially in the summer, I can't say, like sometimes I go to the
to my play area thinking that, oh, it's going to be quiet and I'm going to be able to talk to my employees a bit. And I get there and it's full. So we don't have specific peak hours. It's very random at the moment. I think that's because of summer. But obviously weekends are more busier. Afternoons are more busier than the mornings. And if you talk to our employees, if your child, so any child with any sort of disability or anxious or any issue, if you talk to our employees about it, they are very understanding. So let's say if loud music makes them anxious, we can turn down the music. If they don't like to be alone, one of our employees can, help them to go up and be with them. So we try to accommodate for everyone.
Okay, that's incredible. Thank you. Another question that we just got is, what is your philosophy as a leader?
What's my philosophy? I believe a leader should be loved. So I don't believe in fear. I don't believe that leaders should lead with fear. So I lead by example. So I have worked every single job. I've been on the reception. I've been behind I've been a barista. I've been a play area attendant. I like to have that organic hierarchy. So it's not really a hierarchy, where I'm on the top and everybody's no. We have group discussions with my employees. It's all about teamwork. So I believe more in teamwork, and I am part of the team.
Okay, that's incredible. Thank you. Another question is, what factors make a business successful?
There's a lot of factors. For my business personally, I believe in passion. So if you're passionate about it, if you have the right people. So I do believe a lot in people, and all my employees are handpicked by me. I believe in marketing. So you might have a great product, but if nobody knows about it, no one's going to buy it. So I do believe in marketing, but not maybe the traditional marketing. My main marketing is word of mouth. So if you come and you love if you love FiaFia, you're going to tell your friends about it. Yeah. So my main focus is customer service. Yeah, and the rest is just tweaks. You can tweak anything, but I think those are the main foundations of a successful business.
That's incredible, because the passion is what drives you. And I think that, like you said, for a successful business, in order to work, you need to have that drive. You need something to move you. So it all comes down to passion, of course. Okay, thank you. Do we have any other questions? Let's see. Okay, we have another question. Do you think that nurseries in the UAE has returned to normal? If I read this correctly, I think, yeah.
Okay, so I don't have any young children. My youngest is 8 years old. I'm going to be 9 next month. So I'm not very familiar with the nursery industry. Again, we're very different.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you. There was a mistake. It wasn't about nurseries. It's basically, do you think that play areas in the UAE has returned to normal? I think that's
okay. Okay, that's a better question that I can answer. Yes, I do think we've returned, let's say 80% back to normal. Last week we were given permission to do birthday parties again, which was a main factor of play areas. I mean, the venue and the decoration and everything comes in one place. So we weren't allowed to do birthday parties for a while. We've just been allowed to do them again. The Dubai municipality have increased our capacity to 80% rather than 50. So I think we're almost back to normal.
We can slowly wrap this up. I want to thank you, Alia, from the bottom of my heart, from being here with us and from talking to parents and to people. It is really a wonderful thing that you do, and I encourage everyone to go to the Instagram page and get more informed about it and take your little ones definitely to visit your play areas. So thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I want to say again that this event has been sponsored by FiaFia Play Area and Cafe. I want to thank all of you who were here, and I hope you had a great time. Again, for more information about this, please visit their Instagram page.
If you want to be part of community conversations, make sure you email info@CUAround.app. For all things community, events and lifestyle, download the CUAround community app now.